Today is Tuesday, 14th of April, 2026. And the topic for this week is Death Lost Its Power. I'm reading from John chapter 11, verses 25. And it reads, Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he dies, yet shall he live. And everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? Well, as we talk about death lost its power, it is important to look at this story that we preach quite often. So Jesus did something very miraculous, and he went to the grave and raised Lazarus. So Jesus heard about the illness of Lazarus, but he did not go at that immediate material time of notice. But he went later after Lazarus had died. When he went there, people were mourning, and it was already 3 days after the man had died. So Jesus goes to the grave and went to speak the word of authority. And he spoke, and the grave could not sit idle, but to do what Jesus commanded. Jesus spoke and called Lazarus out of the grave, and Lazarus came out of the grave. And he said, I am resurrection and the life. Now, it is important to take note that people, they get trapped in the grave. Every time people die and they are buried, the image that we have is them being trapped in the soil. That's why we mourn and we feel sorry that we have buried someone in the grave. That image should help you to understand why it is important for Christ to go to the grave and speak the words of authority, because it meant Lazarus was trapped in the grave, and Jesus spoke the word of life to redeem him from the grave. That's why he says, I am the resurrection and life. So no one goes out of this trap minus Jesus Christ. So he spoke, and the grave listened, and the grave could not hold Lazarus anymore, and Lazarus was liberated. Death was substituted with life, and we see a living person coming out of the grave, a place where there was no hope, a place where the dead lived. But Christ commanded life, and the death gave Lazarus out to the world. So praise be to God for Jesus to raise a suffocated man in the soil. His name Lazarus, but it is a bigger picture, because that time Jesus had not yet died, but he was demonstrating that he was the one to liberate humanity from death and its power. So when Jesus died, it was a fulfillment of what he had come to do, but it was pre-demonstrated in the raising of Lazarus. So today, have faith that even you, when you die, believe in Christ Jesus, you come out alive, because the grave lost its power. Good morning.